A warm welcome to Diski Talk with Luyolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. On today's special episode, I am joined by a special man. He is left-footed, one of the hardest working players I know, and a very intelligent footballer. He goes by the name of Tristan Moses. My brother, how are you?
I'm good, man. Good to see you again.
No, it's great, man. It's great. Thank you very much for coming through. You know, this is also special for me because this is the first interview I get to do with a professional footballer. So, and with this platform, you know, that's what I've always desired, is to give professional footballers an opportunity then to be able to share their stories. So, yeah, man. And, you know, funny enough, the first encounter I had with you was actually at Kaizer Chiefs, and it was just before the training session, actually. So you know how they put the yellow baskets outside, and then you have the kit aside. And the funny thing then was that somebody took your number, and that number is 21. And throughout the session, I could tell that didn't sit well with you, you know, because you loved that number, you know. And it got me thinking then that this is such an iconic number for you, and it holds great sentimental value, you know. And I then asked myself, what does number 21 symbolize in your life?
Look, number 21, I never used to wear number 21. 21 wasn't my number. I used to wear 5 or 15. I was born under 15, so I always used to wear, you know, 15 or 5. I wore 5 growing up. But, you know, there was a change. Around 2018, I started wearing 21. I said, no, let me dedicate this number to myself. And all of a sudden, my performances started skyrocketing. I started performing well. You know, then all of a sudden, it started becoming a thing for me. You know, I mean, good luck, you know, we were superstitious about certain things. And then I just started to realize that 21 represented, you know, a transformation for me, like you know, I'm becoming this kind of player or this kind of person. Because for me, it's you know, when you're on the pitch, you know, I'm a different person than I am off the pitch. You know what I mean? So 21 resembles that person that I am on the pitch. And yeah, that's where it comes from. It's just, you know, it's for me, that's my number, and it's just, you know, it's become part of me now. Really. So,
you know, I was actually the guy who took.
Is it?
It was for the gym session. I remember. Hey, you came and you were like, what's up, bro? I was like, I thought it's just a number. But now I know, after you just breaking it down, that it isn't just a number. And what's also special then about number 21 is that that's the name of your company, 21. So what then inspired the company 21, and what are you trying to achieve with that?
Look, my company is really, you know, we are a media agency, but we're trying to create athletic culture within South Africa. You know, we're trying to write a narrative for our players and for, you know, branding our players. You understand? So if you guys go follow my social medias, you see that I try to do things a bit different. You know what I mean? From, you know, my videos to, you know, my campaigns, all these things. We try to do things different. I think South Africa needs us. You know, it's just a different kind of culture for our athletes. You understand? We need to understand that we're more than athletes. We're more than football players. You know what I mean? That a football player can also dress well. He can also, you know, participate in other things. And I think that's just what I'm trying to do through the media agency. And we've got a lot of good partners on board with us. You know, a lot of brands that we work with. And like I said, we're just trying to, you know, create an athletic culture and broadcast our players in a different way in South Africa, because I think South Africa's players don't have that yet. You know, we feel like there's a certain narrative that needs to be placed upon our football players, and we're trying to change that. We're trying to say that, you know, you can be more than an athlete, like I said.
Yeah, definitely. And it then becomes very important, you know, because you speak of culture, you know, and I love the content that you put out, because that then bridges the gap. Because I've always felt that in South Africa, there's this huge gap between the fan and the player and the game itself.
No,
you
exactly.
know?
No, look, that's also one of those things, is we don't connect enough with the people that support us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's so important to build. You know, yes, clubs have fan bases, but as players, we also need to build our fan bases. You know, understand? We need to connect with the people that support us, because the people who support us keep us going. You know what I mean? It's, like I said, the platform just helps us to connect with people, helps us to connect with our fans, and you know, the more that we can give to the fans, you know, the better our careers can go.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that, you know, and you touched on something very pertinent. You spoke of people that support you, you know, and I know then when it comes to you, you hold family, you know, very dear to your heart. So take me back to a time when you're a young man and you're then learning about the world, and you then stumble upon this thing called football. And what is it then about the beautiful game that inspires you and that also then gets your family behind you with regards to supporting you?
Look, I've played football since I'm like 4 years old, you know. I've been playing football for like 20 years now, you know. I remember when I was still in the UK, I moved to the UK when I was 4 years old. I moved to the UK, and you know, football is a big thing there. You know, football is everything over there. Yeah. And I remember one day my father said, like, you know, he wants me to go to this football club there, like a local football club. It was raining that day. It was muddy. Yeah. My father was like, you know, come, let's go to this, you know, football club. And I went to this football club. There's a whole lot of kids playing, whatnot. And my father asked, like, the club owner or the club manager, I can't remember. He asked him, you know, can my son join the club? And the manager or the owner, whatever, told me no. He said, no, there's not enough space for your kids, whatnot. My father kept persisting, like, just give him a chance, let him play, whatever. And I remember I didn't have kit, I didn't have anything. I had like a pair of Adidas Predators and I had Levi jeans on. I put on my boots, and then luckily the one boy got hurt in the game. And my father and the manager said, okay, just go. I went and I scored like 21 goals that game. And then the next thing, they told me, like, come play for us. And then, that's how it started. You know, so that's all I've known from the time I was young. It's the one thing that I love more than anything. You know? It's more than just football. It's just like an expression for me. You know what I mean? It truly is that,
that is quite a beautiful story. So take me through the transition then. You know, you come back to South Africa, and you find yourself then in Cape Town, and you then find yourself having the opportunity to play for AJAX Cape Town. How does that come about, and what's on your mind around that time with regards to how far you can really go?
Look, at that time I wasn't even thinking about, you know, the future. I just wanted to play football, you know. You're young. I was 12 years old, I think, when I joined with AJAX. And we had a really good team, you know, a team with Masilake, a team with Ahmed Sieres, a lot of good boys, guys like Hashim Domingo, Jody February. You know, these guys were all like a year above us at that time. And I remember I came back from the UK. I was playing for FULHAM that side. I came back to Cape Town, and then I started training with AJAX, and then, you know, they eventually signed me on to play for the academy. And like I said, it was weird coming back. The football was very different. Even at a young age, I could already identify that the football is different. You know, everything kind of felt a bit more rushed here. You know, there was much more technical, much more structured. You know, and I found it tough the first month or two. I found it tough coming back, but I was just happy to play football again. And after a few weeks, I realized the club I was playing for at the time. You know? And I couldn't have been in a better place, bro. AJAX Cape Town was really one of the best academies to ever come out of South Africa, you know.
Definitely, I agree with that, you know, because if you look at some of the players they've produced, some of the junior tournaments they've won, you know, they've done absolutely well, you know. So when you were then playing for AJAX, what are some of the things then that you took away from that? Because when you look at AJAX, and you touched on them being that one of the best academies within the country, I would like to think that the football education side, with regards to the tactical perspective, learning about your position, and being able then to truly understand your position and understand your role and understand the game better. What are some of those fundamental things that you took away from that experience?
Look, the development process at AJAX was very technical. You know, we had a lot of influence from Holland with Ajax Amsterdam. Some of the coaches were down there. We got coaches coming in every few months to come help us as a young player. And you know, everything was, you know, technical. Push on your technical ability, from the way you pass to the way you run to all these things. You know, it's down to the details. And I think those are one of the fundamental things that have kind of built me as a player now. You know, it's helped me now to say that because I'm a technical player now, I realize that, you know, those days helped me as a technical player, you know. And like I said, it's all about those, you know, finer details that I was taught over there.
Yeah.
You know, finer details. When we went to Holland, Amsterdam, to play a tournament in 2008, I think. Yeah, 2008. We got to play against PSV at the time, all their junior teams. We played against a whole lot of big academies over there. And just to see like the level at which we were competing already at the junior age sets you up for bigger things. And I think that's the thing, is the more exposure you get as a youngster, the better, you know. To really compare yourself against the best, you know, players and best, you know, academies at the time. It was a very good school for football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They taught us, you know, the best things technically. And if you look at all the players coming out of Ajax Cape Town Academy, you know, you look at Riva, you look at, like I said, Hashim and Jody and all the other boys who are above me and even below me. Technically, best players in the country.
Yeah.
Because those things were forced upon us day in, day out, you know. Yeah.
I would agree with that, you know. And, you know, then it's one of those things then that we look at when we look at the status quo, that Ajax Cape Town is no more. You know, you've got Cape Town Spurs. What do you make of that? Doesn't that really hurt you? Because, you know, when you looked at how you developed there and you mentioned so many of those players, you know, they had a home as youngsters, you know, but now when you look at it, that opportunity then to play for Ajax Cape Town and have the connection with Ajax Amsterdam no longer exists. What do you make of that?
No, it's sad. I won't lie. Ajax Cape Town, you know, when I heard the news, when was it? A year ago? Year and a half ago, almost 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was sad. Sad to hear that because, you know, for Cape Town boys, that was the place to be.
Yeah.
You know, it was the place. When you played in Cape Town, I have many teammates who played at, you know, other clubs in Cape Town, whether that was Hellenic or Old Mutual Academies.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to play for Ajax.
Yeah.
You know, because we saw Ajax as our gateway. You know, Ajax was the gateway to get to the bigger teams in South Africa. It was a gateway to get to Europe. You know, and, you know, guys like Stanton Lewis came through Ajax Cape Town, went to Ajax Amsterdam. Guys like Steven Pina went through Ajax Cape Town, went to Ajax Amsterdam. So Ajax provided like the dream for us, you know, and I think that was the thing, was that Ajax provided so much hope for us as junior players, you know. So it's sad to see it's gone, and I think. You know, if it wasn't here, I think still to this day they'll be producing top quality players, you know. And, you know, I just wish all the best for Cape Town Spurs now going forward. But
same. You know, I really do wish them the best. You know, and so we're now having a look at young Tristan Moses. So you go from Cape Town, you then come to Joburg.
Yeah.
What inspires the move? Why are you moving to Joburg?
Look, it was a family thing.
Yeah.
You know, I came to Johannesburg because of my family, and I really thought it would be easy coming up. It wasn't easy. You know, I didn't have a club for 3 years. I would say I came up here, I played for a local club. They rejected me. They told me I'm not old enough. Well, I was 14, but trying to play for under 17s at the time. They told me I wasn't good enough. I went to BIDVEST, trained there for about 3-4 months. They told me, the late Charlie Johanne told me that you know, they'd like to sign me and whatnot, and I was performing, playing well. And I remember the one evening, my whole family was in the car. We had like a small car that time, bro. And they were in the car, and my father had spoken to the coach, and they told me that the new technical director had told me that I was too small. I was too short to play. I wasn't big enough to play, and that they couldn't sign me. So that was really disappointing on my behalf, or it was disappointing, you know, for me at the time. I remember getting in the car and crying and going home and just being so disappointed. Like my confidence just dropped at that point. just because I didn't understand. You know, I came from playing for FULHAM, I went to AJAX, and I couldn't even make an academy up here, and I didn't understand that, you know. And I always thought I need to get myself into one of those setups so that I could, you know, make sure that everything is right, so that I can play in the best tournaments, play in these things, showcase myself, so that I can move on to the, you know, the professional level. So I struggled to find a club. I couldn't get signed. All the clubs were saying that I was too small. I was, you know, either not fit enough or whatever. And I then went to go play for a local club close to where I used to stay. And at this point, I'm playing for like a local club. We're playing like Sunday games, Saturday games, whatnot, and my confidence started to build. And the next thing, I was invited to go to SUPERSPORT. Yeah. So I went to SUPERSPORT for 9 months. It wasn't successful. I played there for 9 months. It was okay. There was a whole lot of issues that you know, that forced me kind of out my way of the club, and you know, and soon before that, you know, I joined up with Kaizer Chiefs. So yeah, from the time I joined Kaizer Chiefs, things just kind of picked up again, you know. So yeah, it was a very tough period coming from Cape Town to Johannesburg. Very tough period, but it built me. Yeah, it built me up. You know, my mentality was, you know, a lot of things like hurt my confidence. Yeah. But I realize now how much that built me as like you know, a strong player mentally, even as being young. You know, the younger you deal with rejection, the better you're going to deal with it going into your mature phase. You know what I mean? Because when you realize that sometimes the failures is just part of the success. Yeah, definitely. It's just part of the success. All those stepping stones are just part of the success. You know, and I realize that now. And so I'm grateful for those times when I wasn't accepted, or I was told I was this or that, whatever. I'm grateful for them now, looking at it, you know, from a more mature stance. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it was tough. Yeah. I can really imagine, you know, and I for one I could totally relate with that, because I for one have also gone on trial and spent time with teams, and things just don't happen, you know, and you spend so many months and you think that, okay, if I'm here for X amount of months, you know, it means that, you know, they like me, you know. Exactly, it can become lonely as well. Yeah, it can. I remember when I was 14, I went back to AJAX. No, not when I was 14. Yeah, 14, 15. Yeah. I was up in Johannesburg, couldn't find a club this side. I had sent my CV, like football resume, to AJAX. AJAX said, come down for 10 days or whatever. I said, okay, great. You know, maybe I can go back there and play. You know, and I remember I got on a bus. Probably it was like a 17-hour drive to get to that place. Got on the bus, I was tired, man. I had like a big ass like luggage bag with me, bro. And I remember just like staying at my auntie's house, then going to my other auntie's house, then staying at my grandmother's house, you know, just all trying to fight for this. Fight for this dream. Yeah. You know, and that's all that I can say that I have, is that this desire to always want to, you know, achieve and accelerate, and I think we all have that. Yeah. But I know this fire has always been in me since I've been young. Yeah. You know, and I think that's one thing that kids need to take with them, is that, you know, don't let that fire die. Just use everything as fuel. Use everything just to fire you up, so that you can, you know, get what you want and keep going. No matter when they tell you you're too small or whatever, you know, fit enough, you go again, and you just try, and something will, you know, fall into place. You know, this it can't storm forever. Yeah. You know, the sun must shine. Yeah. So. And you know, when I look at you, I look at a mentality monster, and I say that because the mental side. You know, you're one of the very few players who I feel is really sound when it comes to their mental game. You know, and when you have a look at that, then you were invited for the Nike HYPERVENOM challenge. You know, so how did that come about? And you then meeting Arthur Zwane, who is very key to ensuring that he was able to help you build that mental side when it comes to your game. Just take me through all of that, and having now that opportunity. So from going from not finding clubs, you're now playing for a local club, your confidence is starting to build, mentally you're getting stronger, you then go to the Nike Center. Yeah, no, look, I had gone to the Nike Chance in 2014 or 15. I remember making it to the top 22. Didn't get accepted, but I remember Nike always used to have these, you know, events, whether it was you know, the Chance or Nike Most Wanted, or like I said, the HYPERVENOM challenge. And I remember one day I was in matric, and or grade 11, I can't remember so well, and yeah, I've explained the story on the 352 blog as well.
Shout out to 352.
Yeah. So what happened was I was on my phone. And I remember getting a notification saying that, you know, applications were out for like the Nike HYPERVENOM challenge. So you can enter now. And it said, enter now, here's the link. And I remember I was outside, I was about to write an exam, physics exam or something. I was waiting outside the classroom. Like I left my books, I went straight onto it, put in my details, whatnot. I was hoping for the best now. Yo, must have been 3 days later. I get an email or a text message or something to say I've been accepted.
Yeah.
So I was buzzing, happy. So I was like, yeah, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get free stuff, you know. I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna get boots, I'm gonna get,
you know, Nike looks too nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I said, damn, like this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna look the part now this day. So I get there. You know, they set up the changing rooms, they gave us like tracksuits and boots and everything, and they were launching the HYPERVENOM boot.
Yeah.
So there were about 30 guys there, and we then had to split up in teams of 5, and we played like a 5-a-side game. And this is the day when I met my close friend, Zwane.
Yeah.
And we then played, and then they chose a top 10. All right. Now, guys like Sean Bartlett, Arthur Zwane were there. A few of the other Nike ambassador coaches were also there, and they were watching us. And then they called out the top 10. So I didn't know what the top 10 were gonna do, but I knew we had to compete.
Yeah.
You know? So played the game. They were calling out the top 10. Number 1 goes, number 2 goes, number 3 goes, number 4 goes, number 5 goes, number 6 goes. I'm waiting for my name.
Yeah.
Like, I was tense, I was anxious.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, I think I got called number 8 or 9 just before the end, and I was shocked. And at that point, it was nighttime at Nike Center. It was lit up. The next thing I hear music come out, and out the tunnel of Nike Center comes all the big players. Like Twentyone came out, Monip Josephs came out. Who else was there? Sianda was there. All the big Nike players came out at that day. I was ecstatic. Like I was like, damn, what's gonna happen now? Like, are we gonna play 11v11 against these guys? Show ourselves or whatever. Then they said we have to do a one-on-one challenge against the defenders.
Yeah.
And we have to do a one-on-one challenge against the keepers.
Yeah.
So now I'm coming from playing local football a few days ago, and now I'm versing Twentyone in goals. So now, you know, my eyes are lit up. You know, you live for these moments, you know. Especially as a kid, you feel like that. I'm like, you know, you wish you could have this chance. Now I know everybody's watching, you know. You need to put on a show, man.
Yeah.
And I remember it was my turn. I went, I traveled, did a couple step overs, took the player and scored. I beat Monip Josephs. Sorry, Kune.
Yeah.
I beat him. Then...
Mzansi's number 1. They've been beat. I'm joking.
Then the next round was we had to go again.
Yeah.
Now there was only 5 of us, 5 or 3 of us left. It was me, Chopane, and I don't know. There was another guy or another player who was there.
Yeah.
And I went and I told myself I'm gonna pull something out of the book. So I did a couple step overs, did a flip flap. Siana Ulu went the one way. I went this way, and then I tried to chip Monip Joseph, so hit the crossbar, went over. Damn, I finished second.
Yeah.
And Chopane finished first. He won the trophy. I was mad. I was like, you know, made it so far. And and then afterwards, I walked back to the changing room, and won't I get a tap on my shoulder? And it's Mr. Arthur Zwane.
Yeah. Hey boy!
Yeah, hey boy! Hey boy! 10-1.
Yeah.
10-1. He comes up to me and he says, you know, where am I playing? I told him I'm a SUPERSPORT, but I'm not happy there. you know, can you give me, you know, your number and whatever. I said, okay, cool, I'll give it. I was so happy that day. My best friend Viwe was with me.
Yeah.
And I remember we waited there. We were getting a lift home, and we waited like a few hours. And I remember going home. Now I gave Arthur my number on a small piece of paper. It must have been so big.
Yeah.
And I was like, if this guy loses this piece of paper, everything's gone. You know,
Yeah.
I need it. You know, a month goes by, nothing.
So and that's where I want us to have a conversation, you know, because what I like about your story is that at every point you've had to be strong.
For sure.
There's nothing then which would come smoothly, you know. So even then, you've gone to the Nike Center. You've impressed them. You've done really well. They know who you are. They know your name. They took your number. You're now probably thinking, now I'll get a call in a couple of days. A month goes by. What is going through your mind as the days go by?
Bro, let me tell you. I was getting sad. Every day I'll go to school and I'm waiting for that call, waiting for the call. It must have been about 2 months after that. I was driving to school. I was in the back seat. I was getting out the car. Yeah, my phone rings. I don't recognize the number. I pick it up. I say, hello?
Hey, boy!
And he's like, I said, who am I speaking to? He says, it's Coach Arthur.
Yeah.
Man, my heart like fell. I was like, damn, you know? And the next thing, he told me, do you have your boots, whatnot? Please come down to Nacharena tomorrow, this time, whatnot. Damn, I went. I played. I trained with the under-17s that day.
Yeah.
I killed it, man. Like he played me as a number 8 that day.
Yeah.
Got the ball. You know, I was making assists. I scored a couple of goals at training session, and then things just fell into place for me. Then I was part of the Kaizer Chiefs Academy from that day onwards, and it was funny to think that he brought me in as a midfielder.
As a midfielder, yeah, because that is something which is interesting when it comes to your game. Because when I look at your technical skill set, you have quite a phenomenal skill set with regards to your ability then on the ball, you know, and you're also very good on the ball with regards to dribbling and being able then to take the ball under pressure in tight pockets of space, you know. So where then does the decision come to convert you into a left-sided defender and sort of a defensive midfielder?
No, look at, I think it must have been my second season there with the under-19s. Arthur was still coaching the under-19s at that point. And he wanted ball-playing centre-backs. You know Arthur's style of play. Arthur's style of play is, you know, complete ball possession, and when you lose the ball, it's like a complete press. It's, you know, a choking press. A press that just chokes the opposition, and you win the ball as quick as possible, and you play. So he wasn't looking at physicality. He wasn't looking at anything else but ball-playing players who had some physicality at the back. You know, and then I started playing there. I started excelling, playing well. Then obviously I graduated into the MDC or reserve team at the time. And I started flourishing in the position. I started enjoying it. I had more time on the ball. I could pick my pass, you know what I mean? And I flourished in it. I really enjoyed it. But obviously the attacking part of the game, you know, was taken away because I was playing, you know, more at the back. But yeah, that's how it came. He just told me to go play there one day, and he said I was playing well, so he kept me there. And like I said, it was a change. But it also is good for your game. You know, to be able to play different positions is so good. You know, I can play left back, I can play as a number 6 holding midfield, or I can play as a centre back. I can even play higher if people want me, or coaches want me to at some point. But you know, being able to be a utility player, being able to play wherever, on the left side. Okay, for me, playing on the left side wherever, it's so important in the modern game. Modern game is so important. You know, you look at City, and we were speaking earlier about like Zinchenko and Cancelo, all these players being so diverse, you know, in the movements. So if you understand the game, I'm pretty sure you can play any position. You know?
It becomes very easy. And, you know, it's quite interesting then to see how important Coach Arthur Zwane has been, not just in your football career, but your life, because he's he's always there at so many key moments of your life, you know. And if there's one thing I could recall, I recall training sessions for the MDC side where sometimes you guys would be at loggerheads, you know, and he'd always, hey boy.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember, bro. Everything is in here. Hey boy, Tristan, no man, with this body, you're supposed to be killing everyone in the world, you know. And that then one could pick up, you know, that this man really admires you and he really loves you, and he sees that you should be progressing, and he always used to put that pressure on you, you know. I remember there were training sessions where you guys would end up fighting and he would send you away.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember all of that.
Day.
But come the next day, you're in the starting lineup, everything is good, you know. And for me, that was quite a beautiful relationship in a sense. And I say that because a lot of players tend to be a bit on the soft side, you know, but that made you stronger. And if anything, that's what propelled you to become the man that you are today and the player that you are today. So if you can just go into your relationship with Coach Arthur a bit, you know. So I saw it from the public perspective, you know, but I do know that there would be those one-on-one sessions that you guys would have, and obviously it would be a lot more controlled, a lot more chilled. What are some of the things then that he would be communicating to you at that time when you're obviously developing within the reserve team?
Look, Arthur was the one coach that changed me as a player. He made me into the player I am today. Like you spoke about being, you know, mentally on another level. I give credit to him for that. Yeah. There's nothing I can't deal with in this game anymore because of, you know, him. Yeah. And he was so tough on me. So tough on me. I think sometimes he wanted me to be angry at him.
He wanted the best out of you.
He wanted me to be so mad at him that I would finally get that aggression on the pitch out. You know, and you know, I won't lie, there were days where I was so upset every day. When I first came to Chiefs, I didn't understand why he was pushing me so hard. Why was he picking on me to be this, or why was he always talking to, like you said, he sent me home the one day. Yeah. I remember we were doing like line.
Yeah.
You know line,
Yes.
So we go to the box and sprint. I touched the line. He tells me, no, you didn't touch the line. Get off the pitch, go home. Yeah. I took my stuff. I went up to the change room. Coach Isku says up, and he's telling me, no, like, don't worry about it. Come back tomorrow. Yeah. I'm mad. I get into the shower. I'm like tearing up and stuff. Yeah. I remember when Gezana came into the change room, and he like even came to me by the shower. He's like, no, man, don't worry. Don't take it serious, whatnot. And all those moments, I realize now, looking back, all those moments changed my mentality towards football. Yeah.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hey there. I know you're enjoying this beautiful episode. However, I would like to have a quick word with you. It's become a known fact that a lot of people don't take care of themselves. And I think it's very important that we prioritize hygiene. Therefore, I would like to recommend the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0, which has various products which will help you improve your hygiene. To top it all off, I'll give you 20% off any product, plus free shipment worldwide. I'm Liolo, and this was Manscaped Daily News. We save balls.
You know, like I said, our relationship, he was like a father figure to me, in a sense, but he was a disciplinarian.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And then in 2017, I signed my Nike deal. Yeah. And he was also an ambassador for Nike. And I remember like we were on a couch together and we were speaking at this one event. And I remember like obviously you have to boost, you know, your coach on stage.
Yeah.
Things, not knowing like a few days ago he sent me home.
Yeah, you know? He sent you home.
Yeah. And like I said, he was like a father figure to me, you know, really a disciplinarian. And I personally have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah.
I always have till this day. On the day I left Chiefs, it was very sad, you know, especially, you know, losing the relationship between me and him as a coach, because he was such a important figure in my, you know, playing career. And still to this day, you know, everything he's taught me will go on forever. You know, I remember driving. After that Nike event, we drove back together to Arena, and we were in a car together. And I remember sitting there not knowing like what to say. Now you know you're sitting in the car next to your coach, but you expecting the coach on the pitch.
Yes.
And can I tell you one thing? Is that Coach Arthur Zwane was completely different. Completely different. He spoke to me like, how was I doing? Was my family okay?
Yeah.
Gentle.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen to this. 2 hours later, we were training on the pitch. What are you doing? Get here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was like, is this the same guy? But you know one thing, he knew how to get the best out of me.
Yeah, definitely.
He knew how to get me fired up so that I could, you know, perform at my best.
Yeah.
And like I said, my mentality is completely different because of that guy. And that's the mentality I'll carry now forever.
Yeah. And I think one thing we share in common, shout out to Coach Arthur Zwane, as much as I couldn't progress further, but I learned so much from him, and even personal conversations, and how he'd always instill that you have to be mentally strong, you know. And you spoke of him getting the best out of you. I remember an incident at training. I think that was the incident that would, from that moment, I remember you going on then to become very consistent and play well. There was a drill we were doing, and he just was not happy with you. And he's like, you know, then he calls Given. Yo, Given, come here. He takes Given, he makes him play your position. He says, stand outside and watch him, you know. And obviously, because Given is an attacking player, he could get out of those situations. And it's not that you were doing anything wrong, but it's how then he was trying to psych you up. And it was actually a week before a very important game. And from that moment, I remember you'd go on this run where you started doing well, you started scoring goals as well. And that to me then was just beautiful with regards to you saying how he got the best out of you. And speaking of getting the best out of you and the squad, let's now have a look at the Diski Shield team. You know, that was one of my favorite teams in the country. I mean, you guys were playing some of the best football, you know, not just from Diski Shield perspective, but within the country. You know, the football was crisp, it was amazing, the passing, you know, how you guys controlled football games, and how you guys then were always able then to dominate the opponents. And you guys were scoring lots of goals as well. How was that time in your life personally, and of course being with the gents?
Let me tell you, that was the best team South Africa's ever seen.
Yeah.
I can tell you that team was on another level, and I can't even explain to you what good chemistry we had in that team. Everybody complimented everybody. Yeah. You know, some days I get so passionate about how good we were as a team. Yeah. Clean sheet every game, goals every game, mentality, hunger for the game, everything was pinpoint.
Yeah, I remember that team because I couldn't break into that team.
It really was on another level. Yeah. Let me tell you, bro, like from the training to everything, you know, we were beating our senior team at training. Yeah. I remember we played them, obviously at Arena you have the development side, you have the senior team side. We went to go play friendly at the senior team side. We beat them 6-2. Comfortably. Yeah. Comfortably. Now, what does that say about, you know, that age group and that generation of players? Was that we were so ready to compete at the highest level already. Yeah. I still believe today if we all went up together, we'd be winning titles together right now. You know, and if I just think about the quality of players there, I mean, we had Bruce in goals, Bruce and Brylan in goals. We had Sipo at left back. Yeah. We had me inside in the three. We had me in the center. We had Thabo Mokoena. Yeah. We had Blom on the right, and then we had Chopin as a right wing back. So we played we played a 5 in defense, played 3 in attack.
Yeah.
So it was 3 at the back. Then we had given him Shini inside.
Yeah.
Tsiki as a number 10 who's now playing at Dallas, which
Yeah.
I'm happy for. You had Yusuf Bunting at the top
Yeah.
as a number 9, and then we had, I remember we had Lasako as well who was playing there, and we had.
So let's have a look at
Yeah,
it.
let's have
We had Bruce in goals.
Yeah, Bruce.
Mokoena.
Yeah. Yeah, me.
That's you?
But let me show you, it's always there. Always like that.
Deep.
Always 2 meters behind.
Yeah.
We could never play in a straight line.
Yeah. And take me then through your role then. Because this is a special role, and some people across the world would refer to it as a libero. Some people look at it as a ball-playing centre-back.
Yeah.
But when I look at you, because you've got 3 variations of a centre-back. You've got a stopper who is physically commanding with regards to stopping the opposition. You've got a ball-playing centre-back who's key then in building up play. Then you've got a libero who can step in, dictate terms, play those passes. But I think you are the complete centre-back with regards to those 3 variations. Take me through your role.
Let me tell you. Can we put that left back here?
Yep. So we had the left wing back. We had the right wing back. We had Given, Mshini.
Can even put 4 there. And then we play out.
And then
Top man.
Bunting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me tell you. So my role, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people say it was a sweeper.
Yeah.
I don't like to call it sweeper because it's the furthest thing away from a sweeper. Sweeper is very old school term for saying this, right? Was that my role, especially on defense, right? These 2 would drop.
Yeah.
These 2 would drop. On defense, would make a 5, right? If we were sitting like this on defense, we were in big trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble. Because you must understand, they've committed, right? We're playing a square inside. Sometimes we play 2 number 10s. We play 2 6s. You know, if we were like this, balls would penetrate here, balls would penetrate in behind. I could never recover. So my thing was always set the meter deeper, 2 meters deeper, right?
You'd also then offer that extra layer of defense.
When we get caught on counter, because that's all teams could play against us was counter.
Yeah.
Right? So Sipo's high, Chopin is high. All right? Most of our team is up high. Dominating the midfield. Understand, we have the ball here, but sometimes we lose the ball. So now it's 3 defending. Right? You got the opposition's winger should come down there, and you got me.
Yeah.
So let's say double goes in.
Yeah.
Or left centre back goes in. My thing is always to cover. Comes in, you cover. Right? He goes down this side. He goes.
Cover. Yeah.
Right? Then the nice thing, when you play on attack, very simple position, but it's very important because your positioning can affect everything.
Yeah.
Understand? On defense, if you too high or you look at the gap in between.
Yeah.
These guys can't cover this space.
And especially then when you look at Tao, he's not the quickest.
Yeah. Exactly. We were all ball playing.
Yeah.
Me and Blom were much more physical on the right side. So
yeah.
They tried to expose the left side a lot, right?
Yeah.
Now, on build up, right? If we build up, we always build up like this.
Yes.
I would play as a 6.
You see, and that's where then I speak about
so look,
this special role.
Yeah. Opposition strikers there.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes they would try and mark me.
Yeah.
But then they realize you just play the ball here.
Yeah.
You understand? They play the ball there, play the ball there. Now, if the opposition striker's there, I'm always behind him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do. He brings in his number 8, but his number 8 forgets that there's these.
Yeah.
So sometimes I draw the striker, the space opens up. It's a pass.
Machine collects, give and collect. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was the build-up. I would play as a 6, but then as soon as the ball, gets, closer to the halfway line, it's back into the formation. And what was also very important is that us 3 had to be very strong in one-on-one marking.
Yeah.
Because all we do is defend on counter-attack.
Yeah.
Because our numbers are committed, right? As soon as the ball goes deep, it's 1v1. Go.
Yeah.
Go. Cover. Ball goes this side. Cover. You know what I mean? It's like if he comes in here, then I'm covering him because I know he's beaten already. I'm there. And he slots in, he covers.
Yeah.
It's all about working together, 1v1 marking. Yeah. You need to win your 1v1s. Just like Seti are doing. Ruben Diaz will always win his 1v1s. John Stones will always win his 1v1s. Kyle Walker, You know, he's an engine down there.
Massive down the right-hand side, yeah.
But these two were the most important players in our team.
Yeah.
Most important, because everything was get into the box.
Chopin and Diantia.
For 45.
Yeah.
I'm sure we scored 50 goals.
Yeah.
With crossovers.
So when you have a look at this team, it is quite. Let's just take the opposition out because they're just not on this level of this team.
I just used it for striker.
No, I understand. I'm just kidding. Shots fired. So when you have a look at this team, which are some of the players that stood out for you? And which then the players that you would say then are players then that that you were really close to, firstly, and players that really stood out for you?
Like I said, Chopin was probably one of our most important players.
Yeah.
And he used to get up a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes he struggle coming down. So he used to come there a lot and give him a kind of, or Machini would rather slot in there, and But I can tell you, Chopin was one of our most important players.
Yeah.
After 77 minutes, though, 78 minutes, 79 minutes, his legs would be tired.
Yeah.
But he worked up and down, up and down. He's working the whole time. But I can tell you, this back three, was our foundation.
Yeah.
These two are our magicians.
Yeah.
Didn't lose the ball.
Yeah.
Machini and Given didn't lose the ball. Not once. You know what I mean? And these guys were all just our finishers, the runners.
Yeah.
Get in behind. Punish. Yusuf used to make his runs in behind. We used to find him. Sometimes he played 45, he scored.
Yeah.
He used to score goals. That's all his job was. And he wasn't a big striker.
Yeah.
He was a running striker. He was an Aguero.
Very mobile.
Mobile player. So like I said, most important players on the team are wing backs.
Yeah.
The foundation was and we never lost the ball inside here. Yes. And the thing is, here's a diamond.
Yes.
When you play with 2 10s, it's diamond football.
Yeah.
It's rondos. It's like what we do in training every day.
Basically having a box midfield.
Yeah.
So then this would obviously then create that numerical superiority. Because a lot of times it's 4 versus 3 or 4 versus 2 in there, and a lot of midfields then would struggle to combat that. So you guys have now won the Diski Shield, right? You've won the Diski Shield, and obviously then the energy within the team is great. And at that time, there's obviously anticipation, expectations with regards to taking the next step. Because, you guys have just dominated reserve football. Yeah. Now, the next step is obviously first team. Yeah. So, at that point, what is happening? Are there any clubs which are interested? What is Kaizer Chiefs saying? Because I do know that at that point, you didn't have any contract in place. Yeah. And obviously then there were certain guys who were obviously then tipped to obviously go to first team, where we know, for example, your Bloms, your Mshinis, your Givens. What then was happening with you specifically, and what were you feeling? Because you must have, as much as you saw that, okay, these guys were phenomenal, but we all did very well as a team. And I feel like in that run, there were moments where you were great as well. You had standout performances, So what is going through your mind when you don't have a contract? Kaizer Chiefs are not saying anything with regards to you going to first team, but there's outside interest.
Yeah, look, I can tell you, Arthur told us before the tournament finished, he told us one thing, was that after this tournament, all your guys' lives are going to change. Because we had meetings after meetings to say, we're going to win this tournament, we're going to win this tournament, almost creating an affirmation in the team. Yeah. And I can tell you, all of our lives changed after that. Yeah. We were getting offers left, right, and center, bro. It was coming in from everywhere. Yeah. Right? Obviously, at the point, like I said, I wasn't contracted. And obviously, that meant that I was free to do whatever I wanted to do. Yeah. I went to the PSL Awards. I was nominated for Player of the Tournament. I went there with Chopin and Given as well. And we performed. At that point, I had my Nike deal already, which is something unheard of. You've never heard of a player who's maybe not contracted to a team who already has a Nike deal. Yeah. I was playing for the team, doing everything. Wasn't contracted though. Yeah. And I already had my Nike deal associated with these players. I was training with the first team already. I was training with, everybody. Yeah. From George Maluleka to Itu to all these guys. I was in the changing room. Yeah. Expecting something. That was my thing. Yeah. Everybody on social media was calling my promotion. The senior team guys were calling my promotion. I was meant to go to Makufe Cup with a senior team. under Steve Kompela.
Yeah.
I was meant to go, and then a day before we were meant to fly out to Bloem. We were told that we have to go play the MDC game against Sundowns.
Yeah.
So I was gutted. I was like, damn, I wanted to go play my Kufe Cup. That would be my senior team debut, you know? And funny enough, that day, Shaba, when he was still playing, Shaba like told the kid man that, you know, they must give me a room with him.
Yeah.
You know, Shaba always used to be that type of guy to inspire the younger ones.
Yeah.
So he told me and you are sharing Moses. And I was like, okay.
That's big.
Damn. Like, you must understand, I'm still young at this point. I'm not used to being associated with these big players. Yeah. You know? Yeah, like I said, our life changed from there onwards. And by the end of the season, there was one club in the whole of South Africa that offered me a contract. And that was Sundowns. You know? And I really thought that, you know, I deserved something.
Yeah.
I really thought, I really performed well.
I thought so too.
I performed. Like I said, I was being recognized, and I really thought I deserved more.
Yeah.
You know, and I even consulted them.
Yeah.
About my offer.
Guys, what's going on?
No, I told them this is what I have.
Oh.
This is what I have.
Yeah. And what was their response then?
What was their response? There was nothing. There was nothing.
There was nothing.
There was nothing.
You know, because for me, this is like one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to you and your career.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say a lot of things, be it social media and people on the outside looking in, right? But now, I'm one of the very few people who knew exactly what happened and the structures at Kaizer Chiefs as well, and that you weren't contracted, you know, and obviously because you're not contracted, when you come to the end of the season, you're free to do whatever you want to do.
Even in season.
You know.
At that point you are.
You see what I'm saying? So for me, it's very important then that you are able to detail that and share that.
Yes.
Because we need to kill false narratives, you know, and do away with misconceptions, you know. So for me then it is quite important that people understand, you know, as the man has said himself, that after a great Diski Shield run, there was no offer from Kaizer Chiefs, guys, right? And the only team that approached him formally was Mamelodi Sundowns, you know. So I love the fact that you're able then to share that, because the biggest misconception is that you are then, you left for money, you are not patient enough, you know. How then did you deal with that? You know, that's where the mentality part comes up again. How then at that time are you dealing with that when people are painting you out to be this villain, yet they don't know that Kaizer Chiefs put nothing on the table, Sundowns approached you formally?
Yeah, look, like I said, Sundowns was the only club that gave me commitment.
Yeah.
You know, at that point you perform, you're looking for commitment.
Yeah.
You understand? Which club is showing you commitment? Who's going to give you a future?
Yeah.
Right? In terms of, you know, we want you, you know, and I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, it does. They understand.
Like, it's simple. It's commitment or non-commitment.
And that's it, you know. And for me, what was quite disappointing then was that you were there, you know. You were there, you were performing really well. Other gents were getting offered contracts, you know. So that was quite disappointing. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the man himself. That's what really happened. However, the exciting part then comes you obviously getting to meet Coach Pitso, and you now get to sign that contract, and you're now having these talks with Coach Pitso. How was that?
Well, let me tell you, I went, I got a call from Sundowns the Wednesday to say I need to be there in the afternoon. And I need to come down to the offices. So I came down, they handed me the offer on the table. And I was talking with Coach Twentyone at the time. Who was a reserve team coach and Olympics coach as well. And the late Tulani Tuswa was also there with me. And I had my representatives with me at the time. And seeing the big man walks in, the biggest coach in Africa walks in. And he says, my boy, my boy, my boy. Are you signing or what?
Yeah.
And yeah, he came down and he said to me, and he spoke to me about me being, you know, a left footer.
Yeah.
Explaining how important that is in his team.
Yeah, rare commodity actually within Africa.
Yeah.
You know, not just in South Africa, but having a left-sided defensive player. Yeah.
He spoke about, you know, it being very important for the ball flow at the back, especially if you're a ball-playing team.
Yeah.
You know, from going from right back, sometimes you have to move the player so you can move the opponents.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And also then you offer that natural sort of width in a sense in a deep pocket of space. So if you're opening it up, it's easy for you to take it first time left foot. It's a progressive first touch where you can push it forward. Whereas with the right-footed player, he still would cut in and he's taking a regressive touch. So
and also
very
it's
important.
very detrimental because you know, if a striker presses you on your right foot as a right-footed left back, you know, it's a goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's 1-on-1. So yeah, like he explained the importance of that. And he explained to me that, you know, his defensive line was getting old in that area, and that was something that he sees me growing into.
Yeah.
You know, he also spoke about me going out and being on loan for a bit.
Yeah.
Before coming back and doing these things. So I said, okay, you know, I like the fact that he had a vision for me. You know what I mean? He actually recognized my talent. He knew who I was. David knew who I was. And, you know, I was just excited. You must understand, I came from being a player who was playing local league football. I was walking to training. I was, you know, in a situation with my family at the time. This was like 3-4 years prior to that.
Yeah.
5 years prior to that. To the next thing being across the biggest coach in Africa.
Massive.
And I've explained my story to you. You must understand where I come from. And as a boy, you always dream of these things.
Yeah.
And you say, how? How did God make this happen?
Yeah.
You know? And at that point, I just thought, this is amazing. Like, I really honestly thought, like, wow, like this is just like you can't describe the feeling.
No, you can't.
You know, because you're still a young boy with dreams. You're still achieving your dreams, and now you're sitting across the biggest coach in Africa, like I said, and that was amazing. And I decided to join Sundowns there because of the plan that they had in place for me, and the fact that they saw a future for me in a certain position, and that they wanted to bring me on board and bring out the best in me. And another reason why I joined Sundowns was because I wanted to be around the best.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to train with the best players in South Africa. I wanted to train around Antile, Charlie, and you know, I can name all of them. Name all of them.
Yeah.
I wanted to, you know, be around them, and that's why I joined Sundowns. And you know, being in Sundowns was such a good time for me.
Definitely.
A lot of people in the media always criticize the Chiefs Sundowns move, or either Sundowns Chiefs move.
Yeah.
Always criticize the move, right? They don't understand how important that was for me in my development stage.
Yeah.
You know, playing friendlies with like I said, Jali and Zwane, and you're playing with Serino. It's a different level. You must understand, as Sundowns, there's an international level of
quality,
method and quality.
Yeah, game model and how they look to impose themselves. Yeah.
We sit in meetings before the season starts and we break down the season. It's 3 games, sometimes 4 games. Break it down into pockets. That's a league we need to win of 3 games. A league of 3 games, and there's all method to everything, method to success.
Yeah.
And when you're surrounded around that level of quality, that level of game understanding, it changes your game forever. And I keep saying this in all the interviews I do.
Yeah.
I always say, Sundowns changed my game for the better. It's brought so much maturity to my game that I'm so thankful for. And you must understand, going into Sundowns as a young player is very tough.
Yeah.
When I joined Sundowns, I knew the task that I was up for.
Yeah.
But I didn't join Sundowns. I wouldn't have joined Sundowns if I didn't believe in myself.
Yeah.
You understand? For real. I wouldn't have joined Sundowns if I didn't believe in myself. And yeah, things didn't go the way maybe I wanted it to go. But sometimes things happen out of our control.
Yeah.
You understand? And I'm coming from that maturity level right now. Is that, yes, I didn't get games with the senior team. I didn't get as many appearances as I wanted. But I can tell you I was playing 30 games back to back every year.
Yeah.
Whether that was at reserve team MDC level or under M Tigers level.
Yeah.
I was playing back to back. And now going into the next few months now.
Yeah.
Now I can know my game is on another level. I feel wouldn't say complete as a player, but I feel at a stage now where I'm ready to compete.
Yeah, you're confident.
A lot of people, a lot of players come from that MDC level. They get thrown into the deep end too quick. They suffer.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of examples where players perform well in MDC, they perform well at reserve team level. They go to the senior team and they hit a brick wall.
Yeah.
You know, Coach David Notwane even spoke to me about that, about hitting a brick wall. So a lot of players get thrown in too quick.
Boom.
They hit the brick wall. They can't play now.
Yeah.
They struggle under the pressure. But I feel like my development stages as a player has been good. You know, not everybody is gonna, reach their peak at 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
You know, certain players reach their peak at 24, 25, 26, 27.
Yeah.
You know?
Even this country as well, the way things are structured, and how certain coaches are only inclined to giving people opportunities maybe a lot later. And I always say, man, that part of football, it's not just about just playing football. I think it's also then about you developing holistically as a human being and from a mental perspective. And throughout your journey, that has always been refined. And I love the fact that you mentioned that you've reached a point where you're really confident, you understand yourself as a human being, you understand yourself as a player, you've simplified your game, you see the game differently, which is something really, really beautiful, and you then touched on going into the next couple of months, which I think are going to be very important, because, guys, we can't have such a quality, talented, left-footed defensive player, not having a team, and what then are you looking at with regards to preparation before we go into the next transfer window? Are there any teams or any guys you're speaking to with regards to ensuring you can get that preseason under your belt and hopefully sign a professional contract?
Look, I can't say too much right now.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But look, every day for the last 6 months, 7 months, has been military routine.
Yeah.
I've been waking up 4:30. It's in the gym, it's on the field. These periods are tough, very hard in between contracts.
Yeah.
The time when you're not under contract, it's very tough. You have to actually discipline yourself. You're not getting woken up just to go train. You have to actually force yourself to wake up, go train, eat right, do these things. But it's all, like, my whole life has always been, can you get through it? Can you fight through it?
Yeah.
It's not about, if it will happen. It's about when. Like I said earlier in the interview, I said, it can't storm forever.
No, it can't.
The sun must shine.
Yeah.
I understand, and that's something that I'm taking now, is that my mental is in such a good place. My mind, my body is in such a good place. Everything is in such a good place, and I'm looking forward to showcase my talent.
Yeah.
I feel like I just haven't been given the appropriate chance right now.
Yeah.
Or yet.
It will come.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Of course it will.
It's coming.
God,
it's coming. I'm joking. So one thing then I would like to touch on before we move on is obviously then the monetary aspect, because it's very important then that we touch on that and how then you're handling that, because you mentioned then not being in contract.
Yeah.
So you're obviously then when you were at Sundowns, you're getting paid X amount. Now you find yourself out of contract. How then are you managing then your daily living with regards to that?
Look, it's I think in the world we live in, you can't be a one-dimensional person. You can't be someone with one source of income. I think a lot of young players go into the game thinking you need one source of income. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Luckily I've been able to build myself multiple sources of income. And I'm being real and honest with you right now, is that, those things are keeping me going and keeping things good for me,
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing in our game that needs to change. And I was speaking to Prince earlier about it, was that you cannot just be a one-dimensional athlete.
Yeah.
You have to be more than an athlete, like we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
Be able to do other things, be able to express yourself in other ways, be able to create multiple sources of income for yourself, you know, and that's the reality of things right now. And like I said, in this world, you have to be dimensional. You have to be multi-dimensional with everything that you do, whether it's money, whether it's what you do. You have to be different. You have to you know, constantly do other things.
Yeah. And speaking then of that, and taking a look then at your Nike deal, how was that structured? Because that's also something that isn't too common in South African football, and a lot of people don't really have that information with regards to how the deal is structured. So if you could just take us through that, and how then it came about that you were able to get to a point where you and Nike were working hand in hand, and how that deal was structured.
Look, with Nike, it was my first contract.
Yeah.
I just got the contract before I went to London.
Yeah.
I went to a Nike event in London where they were launching the Mercurial boot. I got to meet guys like Skepta over there. Got to meet like guys from Dior, from Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Kim Jones was obviously there, who's now the head of Dior menswear. I have a good relationship with him now. Thanks to that relationship, Neymar was there. Aubameyang was there. You must understand, I was sitting around these guys, man, it was crazy. But to come back around with a Nike contract, at the time it was my first contract.
Yeah.
So it really depends. In those apparel contracts, it's very different with these brands. Like, if you're coming in as a young player and it's a new brand, usually it's just a product deal.
Yeah.
Okay, your first year is usually just a product deal, and the more it expands, it becomes monetary.
Yeah.
You understand? It's product and monetary.
Yeah.
So my one at the time was just product, and like I said, when like the more experienced players, if they would play a national team, they get a bonus. A national team game, they get a bonus, or club game where they get a bonus. So it's structured different according to your agent, how you negotiate it, all those things. It's all based on how you negotiate it. Really, yeah.
No, man, you really look good in Nike, man. You're like, you're like the face of Nike. You're gonna be on a billboard very soon for Nike. But anyway, you know, Tristan, I've enjoyed this conversation, honest conversation, real conversation. But you know, on Diski Talk with Liolo, man, there's always a special segment.
Let's go.
Just before we end it.
Yes,
so this segment is called Best 11. You know, so with Best 11, then I need you to pick the best 11 players you've played with, or the best 10, and you could have yourself there. So it can be players you've played with, you've trained with, you know, and I also need you then to pick a captain, and I need you to pick a coach for your best 11, and I need a formation as well. Let's go. Who plays in goals?
Tough one, eh?
Who's our goalkeeper?
Players I've played with.
Yeah.
If I leave someone out there, people are going to be angry. Okay, we're going to play 3 at the back.
We're going to play 3 at the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Attacking formation.
Okay.
Damn.
So you happy with that formation?
Yeah, I know.
So what are we playing? A 3-4-3? 3-4-2-1?
We'll play 3-2-4-1.
Okay, cool. 3-2-4-1.
Yeah.
Sharp.
Woo! It's a tough one, eh?
Yeah.
Let's say Riyadh. Pitso.
Yeah.
Riyadh in goals.
Yeah. Why Riyadh?
Security, man.
Yeah.
Riyadh, you know, we used to play like in the friendlies a lot together.
Yeah.
Always loud, vocal, security. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Goals, I do. Play myself here. Yeah. Gotta have self-confidence, man.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. I like that.
I've played with so many good players, man. It's tough. Really is tough. Okay, it's easy. Mshini. Ngobo. And then George Maluleka.
George Maluleka there.
Yeah.
I know who goes here.
Yeah, Blom. Of course.
Left side?
It's tough, eh? Left footer. It must be a left footer.
No, it can be a player of your choice.
Trying to think now. Trying to think. Langerman was good. I remember we used to play together in friendlies as well. Also a good player. Langerman's also nice.
So would you play him as a left-sided centre back?
I prefer him inside.
You prefer him inside?
As a centre back.
Okay.
I know. You guys like him down there.
Okay.
He used to play centre back.
So,
he was nice.
so just to have a recap, we've got Pitso in goals.
Yeah.
Got Mr. Moses there, the Lion.
Yeah.
Mr. 21.
Yes, sir.
And then we've got Blom. Langerman.
Langerman, yeah.
We've got Mshini. Mido, yeah.
Serino.
Yeah.
So tough. Sabale.
Tiki.
One of the best players you ever see on the ball, man.
What is it about Tiki that stands out for you? Because he's one of those players who, when I first saw him, I saw a lot of quality. But I think he's one of those players that sort of went under the radar in a sense, or didn't really get that recognition in a sense. But
that's a superpower.
I think he's a phenomenal player.
That's his superpower. Is that he's not. You don't know him, but he influences the game so much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He influences one of the best dribblers. You can never win the ball of Tiki.
Yeah.
Okay, Tiki and Serino, I got Shini, Mido.
Yeah.
The wingers, man. So tough, man. Mabue. Yeah.
Mabue.
You know what? Can I make a change? Because I like Mabue inside.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
I like Mabue.
Yeah. Well, and you know, when he was fully fit and he was playing, he was one of the best 8, in the country. And he was quite key then to Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah. So we bring Mabue in. Who are you taking out?
What did I say? Serino.
You said Serino.
And yeah?
There we went to Tiki.
Tiki. Yes, no, but we can leave Maritzburg, Mabue,
yeah.
Yeah, he played there.
Yeah. So you want him as a right wing back?
Yeah, I play him as a right wing back.
Okay.
Got an engine.
Okay. On the left hand side?
Left. I had the name now. Who was it now again? Promise in
Nkuma.
One of the fastest players you'll ever see on the ball.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I promise you.
I promise you.
That's a good one.
And then
Yusuf.
Goal scoring machine.
He's killer. And then let's speak about Yusuf a bit, because it's quite sad then considering how phenomenal he was, his talent, the amount of goals he'd score. What then do you make of a player like Yusuf, who represents so many players in South Africa that have so much potential and show so much promise, not Nkuma, but promise, and have the ability then to take it to the next level, but we just never see them reaching the heights that they're supposed to reach. Like, what do you make of that?
Look, I was very disappointed when he left the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Very disappointed because he's such a talented player.
Yeah.
One of my favorite strikers to play with. The high energy at the top always makes a run off the shoulder. Look, I'll be honest, I don't know. I'm not too sure what happened in this situation, so I can't really say.
It's just one of those things. Yeah. Okay, so to recap then, Pitso in goals. Got Tristan Moses there. We've got Langerman, left-sided centre-back. Njabulo Blom there. Yeah. We've got Nkosimpile Ngobo, also known as Mshini. We've got Mido. Yeah. We've got Tiki. We've got Serino. Maboe.
Let me change this.
Oh, you want to change him?
Yeah,
okay.
Hashim Domingo
in there. Yeah. And very interesting. Why Hashim?
Have you seen him?
I've seen him. Fantastic.
Exactly. So I don't need to say anything.
And what's quite nice about this is that you played with him since you guys were very young.
I actually saw him the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a good game against Al-Ahly.
Quality. Change the game, huh?
Change the game.
So you got Hashim there. Yeah. You've got Promise Nkuma there.
It's all like Sundowns players.
Yeah, it's all Sundowns players. Except, these two, I think, very special players. But now, it's important then that this team has a captain. Who do you stick the armband on?
Who's this again?
Serino.
gonna be one.
Let me
Put it on me, eh?
You put it on you. There's only in this team. Let me tell you who I'd give out these two players. Nah, it's Tristan Moses and it's Njabulo Plum. These two players, and let me tell you why these two players.
Yeah.
These two players are some of the strongest players I've ever come across. Work ethic, phenomenal, and what I like about you guys is that you never got the sense of you guys are youngsters. You know, when you guys play, it's almost as if you're at the very same level as the senior guys. The mentality is phenomenal. So we'll give Tristan Moses the armband, and then Stopper will be the vice. You know, so I really like that.
What a top player.
Phenomenal.
You know, I'm so happy to see his progression. Actually.
Yeah.
You know, what a player. So hardworking, physically strong, mentally so strong.
Yeah.
And he'll always be my brother. Man.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
This is
combination. Nothing coming down the right hand side.
Tristan, in closing, thank you very much for coming through, and I really appreciated us having this honest and real conversation. And this is your home, Diski Talk with Luyolo. You're always welcome to come through at any stage, any period of your life and your career. And I believe in God that things are going to happen for you, you know, and you're going to get back on track, you know, and God restores, my brother, you know, God restores, and things will definitely get back on track, you know, and for as long as you keep the mentality that you have and how you've always then applied yourself, then I think you're more or less in the right frame of mind and in the right stead to go on and, you know, rebuild your career again, you know. So in closing, any words, you know, as parting shot that you'd like to say?
Look, I appreciate you guys having me on here. You know what I mean? I always say we need to give the players a voice.
Definitely.
You know, and I said something earlier was that we need to change the narrative for football players in this country. Yeah. And we're going to do it. You know, your guys' platform is doing brilliant on it. And I commend you guys on that, man. And like I said, we also need a voice.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we need to be heard. The media can't just write our narratives. Yeah. We need to tell our stories, and people need to understand where we come from. And like I said, I'm just excited for the future. I'm excited for what's to come for me. Yeah. And I'm going to keep working hard. I keep working hard every day. It never stops. I've been doing this since I'm young.
And that's it, you know, and you just keep rising, you know.
Keep rising.
You just keep rising all the time, and you just keep punching through. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a special episode where I had Tristan Moses here. To any of the professional players who really loved the interview and would like to be on the platform, do reach out. This is a safe space for you to come, and always then has been one of my dreams to create a safe space and just give then the professional footballer a voice, you know, and a platform, you know, where their narrative won't be twisted. This is not done for clout, it's not done to blow up, it's not done for likes, but this is done for the love and the passion of the beautiful game. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Luyolo. Signing out.
Adios. Vamos!
21 reasons, papi!